Brad's the man, dude. Brad Lander's the fucking man. Respect. Brad Lander, ladies and gentlemen, New York City comptroller / running for New York City mayor, was apprehended by masked agents and detained by ICE at the New York immigration courts. He's whimsical even when getting arrested. That's funny. Oh my God, he's still dork maxing instead of aura farming. That's crazy. How is that possible? I mean, listen, much respect to Brad. That was cool as fuck. But that's still crazy. That's still crazy. He's still dork maxing at that point.
Do you have a judicial warrant? Do you have a judicial warrant? Can I see the judicial warrant? Can I see the warrant? I will let go when you show me the judicial warrant. Where is it? Where is the warrant? I have it in my hand here. You're obstructing. You're obstructing. I would let go. I'll let go. I take it to see the warrant. Put him in custody. No! Take it back. Take it back. Take it back. Take it back. Step back. You don't have authority. You don't have authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Sir, you don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Say that. You don't have. I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway. I asked to see the judicial warrant. By asking for a judicial warrant?
Dude, they are crazy, bro. The Trump admin is going crazy mode with this. This needs to happen. This needs to happen way more frequently. Like, not the arrests, I mean, just lawmakers directly putting themselves in harm's way. They can't arrest everybody. Okay? Yeah. Brad Lander, A-OK in my book, went up multiple notches. Check out this angle. You can see his wife warned him they're approaching, so he instantly locks arms with the man. New York City comptroller Brad Lander was arrested for assaulting law enforcement and impeding a federal officer. Our heroic ICE law enforcement officers face a 413% increase. God, nothing makes me angrier than seeing the fucking Department of Homeland Security post like soy posting. I cannot fucking stand it. It's the same principle behind like Israel supporters literally being like, we are the permanent victims, actually, while in the process of doing a historic, unprecedented, violent incident, like an unprecedented in modern history. I guess, well, not in modern history, but like since the last Holocaust, doing the new version of it while simultaneously claiming victim. It makes me so angry. It is so fucking disgusting. It makes me so mad. Oh, our heroic ICE law enforcement officers face a 430% increase in assaults against them. It is wrong that politicians seeking higher office undermine law enforcement safety at a viral moment. Yeah. So Brad's wife says, hey, they're coming to snag him, and he instantly locks arms with him. That's cool. Brad's the man, dude. Brad Lander's the fucking man. Respect. McLaughlin, if you lay hands on an officer or impede their enforcement action, you will be arrested, as we just saw here. Earlier this week, we saw Senator Padilla go and crash Secretary Noem's press conference and aggressively approach her. Aggressively approach her? What do you mean? Like, an American senator aggressively approached a press conference to ask a question. I don't want to say what I think, because I will get arrested. Not just banned, but probably arrested. So I'm not going to say anything, but I'm thinking it, and I'm very upset. That's all I'm going to say. I'm so upset. Okay? I am very upset. I'm holding back from what I'm thinking. I will not be saying it. Let's just watch the rest of this video, and I hope I won't say something that will get me in trouble.
Enforcement actions, you will be arrested as just as we saw here. But Brian, even more than that, we're seeing an epidemic of Democrat politicians who are seeking higher office, much like the mayor of Newark, who went and crashed Delaney Hall and tried to get into a secure facility. Then earlier this week, we saw Senator Padilla, a sitting U.S. senator, go and crash Secretary Noem's press conference and aggressively approach her. I mean, this is
aggressively approach her.
Just the third one in a row. These guys want their 15 minutes of fame, and they want to do it off the backs of our ICE law enforcement officers, and we won't stand for it in this administration. Our law enforcement officers, their safety comes first, and so does the American citizens as well.
You know,
same line they use. Yeah, this is her. I didn't know. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything. I don't know. This was Trisha McLaughlin who said I was lying for likes. Okay, I'll say it. She's kind of bad. All right, I'm sorry. Fuck. All right, she's still a Nazi. Fuck her. She's a piece of shit. Okay, let's keep going.
You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens asking for a judicial warrant. Stay back, please. Stay back.
Stay back.
Stay back. No, ma'am. For your own safety. For your own safety.
I'm safe. I can't believe you're arresting me. Where are you taking him? Hello? Hi,
You have no authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Where are you taking me? And with what authority?
Why are you arresting me?
And with what authority?
Where are you taking him?
Step back, please. Security detail. This number one is going to go with him, all right? Hang on, please, number one. Hold on.
Moments ago, New York.
You have weird days. Why you gotta be a bruh guy sometimes, lol? I've gone probably like, what, 200 days without incident? It just slipped out, okay?
City mayoral candidate Brad Lander walked out of court after being detained by federal officials. He's now free and frustrated.
The rule of law is not fine, and our constitutional democracy is not fine.
This just hours after Lander was handcuffed and taken into custody outside of immigration court in Lower Manhattan. And good evening at 5 o'clock. I'm Sade Bedouranois.
And I'm Mike Marza. Brad Lander had been accused of assaulting and impeding a federal officer. Federal agents in Lower Manhattan approaching him as he locked arms with a migrant who just had his case dismissed. Lander walked out of Federal Plaza with Governor Hochul just moments ago.
News of his arrest drawing protests tonight. Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim has more from Foley Square.
Bruh, no fraternizing with a Nazi? I never said that. Can everybody calm down? You guys are acting like I'm gonna fucking send her flowers. She's a fucking psychopathic Nazi piece of shit, okay? God damn. Everybody, you're making a mountain out of a fucking molehill, okay? Calm down.
Take it back. Take it back. Step back. You don't have authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Sir, you don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens.
This is video of ICE agents taking down City Comptroller Brad Lander and then placing him in handcuffs. The mayoral candidate arrested at Federal Plaza
Burgles, thank you for the 100 give this subs.
This morning after observing an immigration hearing. The Democratic mayoral candidate linking arms.
Yeah, they calling you a lot of names, but not a liar. True. That's true. They are. They're saying a lot of names in the chat, but ain't nobody calling me a liar. Oh.
An immigrant who ICE agents were trying to remove, setting off the dramatic confrontation. This is how it started.
You have a judicial warrant. You have a judicial warrant. Can I see the judicial warrant? Can I see the warrant? I will let go when you show me the judicial warrant. Where is it? Where is the warrant?
I peeped the IG Unk. You are not valid for that take. Okay, I didn't even know she had an IG.
A DHS spokesperson says Lander was arrested for assaulting law enforcement and impeding a federal officer. And then a statement goes on to say, it is wrong that politicians seeking higher office undermine law enforcement safety to get a viral moment. No one is above the law, and if you lay a hand on a law enforcement officer, you will face
Why is this local news anchor yelling?
consequences. But moments ago, Lander released and walking out of Federal Plaza with Governor Hochul.
And do what I could to intervene. But to my knowledge, there are no charges. Charges have been dropped.
But I'm happy to report I am just fine. I lost a button.
Assemblymember Zohran Mamdani is surging in the mayor's race. He and Lander have cross-endorsed each other's candidacies.
This is not about an election. This is about ensuring that we protect the city and the country that we love.
Now, this is a live look at Foley Square, which, by the way, was quiet until Brad Lander was arrested. Now, by the way, he just showed up here moments ago, and as expected, to a hero's welcome. The front-runner in this mayor's race, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, he is also coming to Lander's defense. In a statement, he says, this is the latest example of the extreme thuggery of Trump's ICE out of control. This is not who we are. It goes on to say, this is the direct result of the mayor handing the keys of our great city over to
Andrew Cuomo forgot he's running alongside Trump as opposed to running against him, you know? For a moment he forgot, I think. For a brief moment, he's like, this is not who we are. I would definitely not do the exact same thing, except I too am also incredibly right-wing, like Eric Adams, and also am compromised in the same exact way that Eric Adams is, with a Department of Justice case that is hanging over my head that will allow Donald Trump to use me like a fucking flesh puppet with his hand shoved directly inside of my asshole. Like, he's like, yeah, I hate the current mayor. I am literally him, but Italian, okay? Got his biggest donor support ICE. If you're wondering why Andrew Cuomo is so soft on ICE and why he hasn't called for Brad's release, you can just follow the money. Andrew Cuomo's biggest donor is raking millions from ICE. Reporter regarding Cuomo responds, 5 fellow mayoral candidates came here within 90 minutes of you being arrested and called for your release. What does that say about the tenure of the mayor's race? Was one of them Andrew Cuomo? It was not. Imagine that.
Was one of them Andrew Cuomo?
It's not. I was going to say that.
Imagine that. Look, I mean, this is a critical time to have a mayor who will stand up to ICE and stand up to Donald Trump and insist on due process and the laws of this city.